Barnes & Noble fighting back with a brand new Nook, and we got Jeff Trachtenberg here to tell us all about it.
Well, basically it's the old tablet, well received, but 8 gigabytes instead of 16. So what it means is less room for storing your movies, your music, your videos.
And anything else we should know about this? Is this going to be an Amazon Fire killer? And the price is right.
Price is right.
Is it in line with the Fire, right?
Well, they're both at $199 now. So the question is, does the Kindle Fire have a huge head start? And that's going to be, the conversation sort of became two tablets, didn't it? The iPad and the Kindle Fire.
Yep.
Now, even though Barnes & Noble's own tablet got a very good review, it was $249. It could do more, but somehow it didn't quite get the conversation, I think.
It was baffling when they came out with it because it was $50 more than the Fire, and they had this long conversation about how they had more storage. But it really was the equivalent thing, and the storage thing is kind of a misnomer anyway because it's very hard to actually store much on the tablet. They're not designed for streaming.
And in fact, they said today Netflix is like the second or third top app on the.
It's practically impossible to store a movie on there, so the storage seems sort of.
And you're a tech wizard, so if it's practically impossible for you to store a movie on there,
You would literally have to rip a DVD and move it over there, and it's not designed for that, unlike the iPad.
So here it is. Barnes & Noble wants to be part of that conversation, so they came out with a device with less memory and a $50 price point difference.
I mean, and that's going to be, I think, it could be very compelling in these hard times in which we live. Now, you say Barnes & Noble also saw a drop in physical sales of products online in the quarter. So this is not like things that you download, but things talking about hard books.
Right, we're talking about books and everything else they sell online. Their sales actually went down in all other products except for digital. They actually say they think they may have increased their ebook market share by a little bit in the quarter. This is for the most recent third quarter.
So they really are fighting back in some way here, right? On the e side, which is what really they've been crushed with by Amazon.
Right, they're fighting back, but it's an expensive battle. And earlier in the year, they talked about spinning off or selling off their Nook digital business, and they didn't really talk about that today. And it was interesting. None of the analysts actually brought that topic up, but it's ongoing.
It's ongoing. Do you think it'll happen, either of you?
I don't know if it'll happen. The question is, what if they do? If it does happen, then what happens to the old Barnes & Noble business? We talked about this before.
You've heard so many scenarios. You know, they could spin off part of the Nook digital business through a public offering, or they could sell it all. And then, for all you know, maybe somebody would come along and take the bookstores back because we saw today the bookstores actually had a very good quarter. In fact, the CEO said they had the most traffic and the most sales in 5 years.
They said total sales grew 2% to $1.49 billion, and comparable store sales, which is the ones that have been open at least a year, increased 2.8%. Now, in this economy, that's really quite phenomenal.
Almost more important to me was the fact they actually had more store traffic, and of course that's a reflection of the fact that Borders isn't here anymore. But it is a gain for them.
That is interesting. Now, I went into the flagship Barnes & Noble on Union Square over the weekend, and it was looking pretty thin. I wasn't sure if they were redesigning or something, or if what was going on. Is that something in the wood?
It's got a different look now. You've got educational.
It's not the old one.
It's not the old one. You've got a much bigger Nook space. I think they may have 4,000 square feet dedicated to the Nook. They have a lot more educational toys and games today. They have a lot more accessory items like that, things which you might not have found in a Barnes & Noble bookstore 5 years ago.
So the educational games, is that going to be something that's there to stay, or is that?
Yes, that's been a very good growth.
It's a fairly well-trafficked part of the store. If you go back there,
double-digit growth for the quarter, and they're very upbeat about it.
And I noticed with horror that the bargain books bit of that particular Barnes & Noble is like slimmed down massively, and hardly anything I want to buy that.
Well, we're seeing a period now where bookstores have smaller inventories on the book front.
Okay. Always a pleasure. Thank you very much, Jeff.
Thank you.
Trachtenberg of the Wall Street Journal. You read lots. You've been writing lots today. There's so much.